Hey, welcome to episode number 74 of According to Flint, the podcast. And this week, happy to step a little bit out of the Western sports world and go with something that I'm intrigued by and very much interests me. An episode having to do with the Savannah Bananas touring fun baseball team and my friend Matt Wolf. And if you watch any clips from the Savannah Bananas or are lucky enough to see them play, Matt Wolf, with some rodeo ties and rodeo background, dresses and plays as a rodeo clown. So looking forward to this episode and something unique and something different. Our friend Matt Wolf right here on episode number 74 of According to Flint. Here we are, episode number 74, According to Flint. My friend Matt Wolf, that's right. Savannah Bananas. Hey, I'm all bananaed up. Did you notice that? Just for you, man.
Man, you're making me feel special, Flint.
Hey, I got to tell you something, though. I purchased this, Matt, and with a friend like you, I shouldn't have to buy swag. However, Billings, Montana, big sporting goods store, whole section of Savannah Bananas stuff. I go in and buy a shirt. I'm checking out the little older lady at the checkout counter. I put it up and she looks. It's the only thing I got. She goes, "Savannah Bananas, is that a baseball team?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "What the hell are we doing carrying this stuff?" But that's, for somebody like you, isn't that something how it's just gone? I mean, I'm in Billings, Montana and can buy this stuff. That's a little overwhelming, I would think.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to say the least. You know, the kids love it. I mean, you're just a big kid, Flint. So
I am.
I'm glad you're wearing that.
We're both big kids. Okay. First of all, okay, you're one of the few players. You're part-time with the baseball team, but because you are also an Oklahoma City fireman, correct?
That's correct. I try to tell people I have the two greatest jobs in the world. I'm an Oklahoma City fireman, and I'm a Savannah Banana. I don't know if it gets much better than that.
Would you say, are you a baseball player or are you a performer? And that's the bigger picture of what interests me about this whole thing. What are you?
Well. We have a saying in Banana Land. It's called "Flip the Switch." We've got to be both. We've got to be able to turn up both on and off, simultaneously. So yeah, I would say I'm both.
Let's first of all, for people watching this, because I'll guarantee there's people who watch maybe every episode of this podcast that has come out, and a lot of them are going right now probably, now who the hell are these Savannah Bananas? They're going to look now. It's an interesting progression of the team. I think I've watched every special, every bit on the Savannah Bananas, but it all started with the owner of the team trying to create interest in a minor league baseball team. Am I right?
Yeah, that's pretty close. Jesse Cole is the owner of the Bananas, and he had this vision to create his own sport, if you will. I mean, we're playing baseball, but it's by a whole new set of rules. And our goal is to involve the fans as much as possible and make it fun for the kids and be entertaining. He says we're in the entertainment business.
Yeah.
So here we are.
I think, well, in a sense, I think all sports are the entertainment business. No matter how much we're in the competition, sports are the entertainment business. But is there no longer a Savannah Bananas team that plays a regular baseball schedule? Is it now just a touring entertainment team? Because isn't that how it was for a while? You had the touring team and then they played in a league.
Yeah. It's real confusing for people right now because the pro team, which I'm on, is so new. So this started as a college league, summer league team where they just did crazy antics. They still played baseball. They still played by the traditional rules, but they entertained in between innings. They had the guys do dances. They did different promotions, and now it has progressed into this professional team that tours the country, and we play by our own set of rules. Probably the most well known is if a fan catches a foul ball, it's an out. So we play by a whole new set of rules, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of.
I saw that game. Actually, I'm a big fan of, I listened to the Dan Patrick Show. Big fan of the Dan Patrick Show, heard by millions. I'm listening one day and Dan was in Major League Baseball right now. There's a lot of rule changes with pitch clock and different things. And I could tell he wasn't very familiar with the Bananas baseball. And he's saying there's this team and a fan caught a foul ball and it was a walk-off. It was the end of the game. What league allows that? He's going on. And I'm like, Dan, you got to get familiar. So he was floating rule changes and he was kind of putting a poll out. Who would want that to be a rule? I like the rule. What are there other rules? Is that the only kind of real quirky rule different than baseball in general?
Well, there's a lot of rules. There's a lot of funky rules and it is meant to speed the game up. Traditionally, baseball's been kind of a long sport. It's a long event. You go to a Major League Baseball game, it's going to be within 3 hours. So we have a 2-hour time limit. There's no walks. Walks are boring. So if you walk, it turns into a sprint, and the fielders would have to throw to every position before they can then make a play on the guy that just walked, so he could actually get out. Possibly.
Oh, hold on. I did not know this one. So it's ball 4. The catcher throws to every guy. It's got to touch it.
It's got to touch every guy. Yes. Got to touch every guy. The runner can continue to run as far as he wants, and you can possibly make a play on him. So he may get a double. He may get a triple on a walk. So walks, I'm a pitcher dressed as a rodeo clown. And walks will kill you. Walks will kill you.
That there is a league. That was one of the things that Dan Patrick brought up. There is a league that on a walk or on a passed ball, I can't remember, that they can make a play at first base. They tried it at one time. I thought it was up on the good rules of banana ball. I did not know. Obviously, I just need to go to a game. I mean, that's the only solution I have here. But there's also a lack. We talk about the cool rules. There's also a lack of rules or different rules. Obviously, there are no balks on the pitcher because I've watched the TikTok dances, and out of nowhere, a pitch comes to the bat. No box, apparently.
Oh yeah, and that's my favorite part because I get to bend the rules. I'm an old guy trying to play with these young cats, and I have to be able to stretch the rules somehow. Quick pitch, throw between my legs, do a cartwheel and pitch, anything I can do to get a crowd reaction and, to have fun with it. That's what I'm there for.
Okay. Let's get to the point here of why you and I are connected, how I met you, and what interests me about what you do on the field. You got a rodeo clown barrel out there. You got what we call the baggies on. You wear the rodeo clown makeup. There's a history there, correct, in your family of why you do that?
Yeah, there is a history there. My dad served a short stint as a rodeo clown back in college. He actually got to know a guy named Rex Dunn, if you've ever heard that name.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, dad ran around with Rex just a little bit in college, and he kind of tried to teach him a few things about fighting bulls and whatnot. So yeah, when I went to the tryout, I knew I was out of shape. I've been out of the game 10 years, and I had to have something that's going to make me stand out. And I'm a small town guy. Grew up on a ranch. Grew up around rodeo, and who doesn't like a good rodeo clown? So I was like, that's got to be it. That's got to be my end there. so yeah, I did that to kind of honor Dad and to honor our family heritage. We grew up on a ranch right outside of Wynnewood, Oklahoma. A lot of people know Wynnewood, Oklahoma for the Tiger King,
Oh,
but yeah, I don't like. I can't believe I just told you that on your show, but yeah, it's an easy reference for people. I grew up right outside of there, Joy, Oklahoma. We had to sell the ranch my junior year of high school, so this was also a way for me to honor my family. Uh, I knew I probably wasn't going to be able to buy that ranch back, but this was a way that I could honor them, honor my dad, look cool, and it just fits my personality. I
yeah.
always like joking around, and they ate it up. Here I am pitching as a rodeo clown, and I want to give respect where respect is due. So that's kind of why I reached out to you and a guy named John
John,
Harrison
yeah.
from Oklahoma, because I wanted to represent this thing well from a rodeo standpoint as well. I'm a poser, but I've been around it, and but man, you guys are awesome. I love what you do. That was always my favorite part of a rodeo was the rodeo clown, the barrel man. So
So how was it received? You go in, you brought, I would imagine they'd respect you. Did you audition in front of, or kind of try out in front of the owner? Does he make those decisions? And how was that received? Was it like, I see what you're doing and I like it? What was his response to that? A lot of questions?
uh man, he's the one. He was there. There was him along with several others, that I think 80 of us that tried out. I thought everybody, being from small town Oklahoma, knew what a rodeo clown was. That's not the case.
No,
you
no,
know,
not at all. It absolutely is not the case.
so I've had people come up to me and be like, "Man, I really love what you got going on. I just hope people understand that you're a minion." And I'm like, "Come on, guys!
Oh my
Like
God.
I have I've tried so hard to put on this act of being a rodeo clown. I got the barrel, I got the baggies, I got the makeup, which I don't do makeup quite like you, more like a bullfighter, more like Cody
Cody
Webster, which is an
Webster.
Oklahoma boy,
Yeah, there you
you
go.
know. So yeah, but nobody really knew what I was, or there was a few, but they really enjoyed the tricks, and I dropped my pants, showed my polka dotted underwear when I was pitching, and they ate it up. It's for the bananas, it's having a good time, entertaining people, and trying to get some laughs and smiles. I mean, so
A minion,
good stuff.
a minion. Now it's done for me. The visual is you're a minion. That's funny. So where did you play baseball? Like, I guess I'm curious, you first, but I'm curious of who plays for the Savannah Bananas. Who are these guys? What is your baseball background besides obviously high school baseball? You have a college background. What level of ball did you play in the first place?
So most of these guys are former professional athletes. They've played some sort of affiliated ball or independent baseball. With the exception of a few, which would be me. I've only made it to college. So after college, I was done. My dream was obviously to play professional baseball, but in a sense, this is almost better. This is a little bit probably more fun, more loose. There's still some pressure there. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, this college for me. But most of these guys have played some sort of pro baseball before.
Where did you play? What college?
Um, I bounced around a lot. I, I started out at Gainesville, Texas, a junior college,
Mm-hmm.
North Central Texas. Then I went to the home of Reba McEntire and Dennis Rodman,
Oh,
Southeastern
SEOU. Yeah, you bet.
Southeastern Oklahoma State, and I finished right in my backyard, right where all my family went, which was East Central in Ada, Oklahoma.
I've been to Ada. That is quite the metropolis, Ada, Oklahoma. Were you good? Just pitched? Were you a position player too? Were you any good? Tell me about it.
Oh man, I was a pretty decent ball player, especially for a little guy. I gave it all I got. I think that's what I was known for, just kind of being the Rudy of baseball. Just I had some talent. I had a little bit of talent, and I was a pretty decent infielder. That's kind of what I was known for, is infield play, and I really just I played every position in college. Played a little second, a little shortstop, a little third base, and got to play my favorite position was to catch. My senior year of college back in Ada, so that was pretty awesome.
So I want, of course, from this for people to look you up. You and I follow each other on Instagram and message back and forth, and I try to catch everything. Where did you're a trick, would I call you a trick pitcher?
Yeah, that's what they call me.
Where did that come from? How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing stuff like that since I've been a kid. Just joking around. Baseball's a long game, so there's a lot of downtime. So in that downtime, I was always goofing off and doing stuff I probably wasn't supposed to be doing. Just throwing it between my legs and over my head. And I used to always tell Clint. I used to always tell people I'm pretty good at stuff that doesn't get you very far in life.
Hey.
And I gotta eat my words now. So it finally got me somewhere. So
listen, I do. This is why what you do interests me. For one, there's an authenticity, which I'll get to, but I always say I could do a lot of things pretty well. Wasn't a great singer. I was kind of a singer, okay athlete, pretty good dancer, have all these things. But when you throw them in this deal and mix it up and find the right avenue to throw them out there, you can really, all you got to do is find a place for it, right? That's why I think we're kind of alike in that sense, a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, without the Bananas, I wouldn't be able to, and their vision, I wouldn't be able to put my skills, if you will, to test. So pretty special.
When I say there's an authenticity, I've watched TV shows, as you can imagine. We all have TV shows where they have a rodeo episode or a movie. Hell, I helped on a movie where Kiefer Sutherland played a rodeo clown, and he kind of watched me through the summer to pick up some mannerisms, but it just wasn't right. Even in the movie, what he wore, it was wrong. It was the wrong interpretation. It's cool when I watch all your highlights and stuff from the Bananas. It's for real. You put your damn clown barrel in the outfield. I'm watching the other day. You had your clown barrel in center field. That's a real clown barrel. That's authentic, isn't it? Where'd you get a clown barrel?
Well, they're not easy to find.
They are not easy to find.
Especially a used one. I could buy a brand new one, but I didn't really want to fork out the money for that. People don't realize how expensive that stuff is. So I found a used one in Arizona, and the head coach was happening to be moving from Arizona to Savannah. So I sent him some money. He put it on his moving trailer, and there we go. It's in Savannah. So
I gotta know. Maybe you don't know, but there's a guy that sold a reused rodeo clown barrel that's now touring with the Savannah Bananas. Do you remember can you say who it was, or do you even remember who sold? Because, it's a pretty small world, the rodeo clown barrel world. So I'm curious.
Oh, I wish I could remember his name. I've got it in my phone. Yeah, I'm terrible at names, but he said it actually came from Oklahoma. Strange enough,
huh?
So pretty cool. I wish I could remember that guy's name, but I can't off the top of my head.
You guys have some former major league players make cameo performances with the Bananas, and I'll get to some of that. But what about like one of the best rodeo clowns ever making an appearance at a Bananas?
Do you not do you not think I've tried to pitch that? I've tried to pitch that for so long. Man, I'd love that. I'd love that. I mean, I think the crowd would love it too. So
Uh,
I've even wanted to get on the mic, during the game, like a rodeo clown. That's probably not my strong suit, but we like to try new things in Banana Land. So, and I gotta test my limits and get uncomfortable to grow. So,
I I played baseball up till I was about 16 in Montana. It's not a high school sport. It's a club sport. I played second base because I had such a weenie arm. That's all the farther I could throw it first. But so I played for a while and then played softball, for slow pitch and fast pitch. Anyway, I love baseball. But a few weeks ago, I was at the college national finals rodeo with my daughters, and they have this softball tournament with all the regions, and then they have a coaches team. So they needed somebody, so they had me play on the coaches team. I picked up that softball, and it was like throwing a foreign object. I couldn't. I mean, it is amazing how much I lost it. Something I did completely naturally. Holy crap. It was awful, man. I pulled a quad round in second. I just think I could make an appearance, but I don't know if I could pull it off, man.
you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
I don't know. I could bat. I think I could bat. So I guess I'm curious. You really got to teeter on the line of, okay, we're in the entertainment business, of course. As I said, I think all sports are. But you guys got to teeter between, we really need to play baseball here. People still want to see some baseball. This is a real broad question, but how do you balance that? Because if I go to one of your games, I want to see baseball too. How much is real competition? How much is scripted? All of that. Same kind of questions I kind of get, actually.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to answer. There's a lot that goes into it. What I think people have to remember is all of those guys out there are competitors,
Mm-hmm.
and we are trying to win the ball game every single night. It's not scripted like the Harlem Globetrotters, where one team wins, one team loses, and there's a lot of confusion there. But
Mm.
man, we're at each other. There's nothing that's really scripted. We audition. We are not audition. What's the word for it? We do some practices prior to the game, and that's just, there's certain times during the game that we're going to dance. There's certain times that we're going to try to reach fans a little bit more. But all in all, we're trying to play the game as true as possible and let everything else happen organically. As far as when we get to ad lib stuff, whenever we feel that's necessary, we have quite a bit of freedom to kind of do what we want, and I think that's what makes this a special thing, is because we can be ourselves, show our personalities, and stuff like that. Celebrations are one thing that's scripted, but
Hmm.
you don't know when that's going to happen. You don't know if we're going to score in the first inning or the second inning, but when we score, we're going to do some type of scripted celebration.
So,
But
so
other
there
than that,
would there be somebody in the dugout going, all right, hey, we got a guy on third here. If he hits a base hit and if he scores, we're doing the gritty. We're doing I'm just spitballing here. So there's got to there's somebody going, everybody get ready here. Am I a little bit? Because I think I can
yeah,
relate here.
well, yeah, we've got a director of entertainment. His name is Zach Frangelo. He actually worked in Vegas. Maybe had a little bit of something to do with NFR at a time at one time. But
Hmm.
he directs us. He's going to let us know, hey, right here, if he scores, we're doing this, which would have already practiced. We'd already practiced doing the gritty or whatever celebration we're going to do,
Mhm.
and it's just we just kind of have a schedule of what, this is going to be the first celebration. This is going to be the second, third celebration. And he just kind of communicates to us over there on the bench when that's getting close to happening.
PBR's had a director of entertainment too. This guy right here.
Hey,
By the way, I'm a gritty and some bitch. I don't know if you've seen me gritty. See, that intrigues me because I can relate. It's almost what you're telling me is kind of exactly what I've told people in interviews, that if you can create not really an illusion, but create the illusion that you made it up on the spot. However, in a baseball game, I know in a PBR or a rodeo, there are a lot of things we know are going to eventually happen. And we have something in the Rolodex that fits that moment. Nobody in the crowd has the same Rolodex, but we know there are certain things going to come up. We don't know when they're going to come up. And it may be the next game that it comes up. But I'm kind of on the right track where in these moments, this is what we do. We're just not sure when these moments are going to happen. Correct?
That's exactly. You hit the nail on the head there.
I can see a 55-year-old washed-up rodeo clown playing for the Savannah Bananas. I'm really laying the groundwork.
Hey, don't come for my job, Flint. Don't come for my job.
Is there, I would imagine, as there is in any sport, old baseball purists just pissed about this. Like, what the hell? Gotta be, right?
Oh yeah, you bet there is. And I'm kind of in between there because I'm not young like the kids are on the team. Most of them are around 25, 26. I'm 35, so I'm like the middle ground. I still, and not that they don't appreciate old school baseball, but I really appreciate old school baseball. But I also realized where baseball's going and how important it is to the youth. And we need to entertain those thoughts of the youth and their interest in the sport. And I think this is a great way to get those kids interested.
When I was a kid, I wanted to be a Harlem Globetrotter. I was intrigued.
Really?
I had everything. They had a cartoon on Saturday mornings. They were on Wide World of Sports once or twice a year. Intrigued. When I was in about fourth grade, I wasn't a very good basketball player, but I could spin the ball. I could slide, dribbling. It sparked a passion, the style of ball they played. Similar, you guys, a lot of people make that comparison, including myself. A little bit the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, right?
You're right. Exactly. That's a great comparison. That's what we try. That's the short version of what the Bananas are.
Except, I think you answered my question. If you ever watch the Globetrotters, all of a sudden in like the middle of the third quarter, there was a cue there where they would say, now we're just playing ball. Now we're just playing basketball. And they'd play kind of a half a quarter against their team, the Washington Generals or whatever, the team they always played. And they would, I think it was their moment to go, watch, we're flat out basketball players now, and they'd play serious for a little while. You guys really don't have to do that. Or do you go a stretch where you say, let's just play. Let's just play a game here?
No, it's all serious. I mean, it really is all serious. Like, I may drop my pants at the plate when I'm batting. That's
who doesn't though. Who doesn't?
I mean, who doesn't? But I'm still trying to hit the ball. I'm still trying to put it in play. It might make it a little bit challenging for us at times when we do stuff like that. But we're trying to win the whole game. But when we can entertain, we try to entertain. If that's giving up a pitch, one strike, okay, well, you got two more. Take an ugly hack for the crowd, or do something tricky that you might make an error on. But we're really trying to attempt to make that play and to win the ball game.
See, that makes me feel better. I feel better about this, because what you see, if you follow everything Banana Ball on social media like myself, you just get a lot of the clips, like the camera angle when they're doing the dance and the outfield's everything, which is cool. The fact it's still a competitive game, I actually feel better about it. And I think people would want to know that because I was a road trip recently, the Party Animals or whoever you play, they had won more games than the Bananas in that stretch. And I went, wait, so they win too? Not like the Globetrotters. Who are those guys? Who are your, do you all work for the same organization? Tell me about the team you play.
So tryouts, there was 80 guys that made, 40 guys that made the roster initially. And we're all the same team, but we just split 20 guys over here, 20 guys over there. And we're just touring the country, and we're keeping track of who wins more games. And luckily it's worked out where it's fairly even teams. So, the record's going to hopefully stay fairly close throughout the year, but by no means is it scripted.
Do you get a choice? Are there guys whose personality fits the other team? Am I right on their name? The Party Animals, right?
The party Animals and the Bananas. Yeah, they make that choice. Ownership makes that choice, and coaches. And I'm sure they base it on a personality thing. And also they have to even the teams out as far as talent level goes.
But go ahead.
The majority of the entertainers, which that's what I would be considered a player / entertainer. We got guys like myself, who's dressed as a rodeo clown doing trick pitches. We got another entertainer that's on stilts. We got the self-proclaimed fastest man in baseball, Flash.
How fast? Okay, how fast is he? Is he legit fast, or is it cartoon character fast?
He had parents that ran in the Olympics, so he can get it. He can run. And we have another guy named Ziggy who does balancing acts. So he balances bats on his chin, ladders on his chin. He does bat tricks. He's amazing too. So those are the kind of entertainers that we have. So most of those guys are on the Bananas. And the Party Animals, not so many entertainers, but they're still just as entertaining to watch.
I see them as, this is so weird that this vision's in my head. The original, what was the basketball movie Michael Jordan was in? Space Jam, the original Space Jam. And Michael Jordan's team was all the cartoon characters, and they played the aliens that were all badasses. You guys are the cartoon characters, and they're the badass, the Party Animals are. I don't know why I always have that vision in my head. I think I'm accurate there, don't you?
Yeah, you're pretty close, and they've got a really good team over there on the Party Animals as well. So yeah, it makes it interesting. Make it interesting to see what's going to happen. They're the villains, so
I'll tell you why I'd like it. Here's what I like. I'm a uniform guy. Like, I don't know if you follow me much, but I always have a different Cooper Tire uniform every year. We design new ones, and let's do this Montana State themed. You guys go through the frickin' uniforms. Like that, I would be so good. You came out not long ago with kind of a Hawaiian print shorts. That's a big deal to me. Do you get to keep that stuff?
That was a romper, Flint.
You can't go wrong with a romper. You got to, those rompers, they'll give you a camel toe in a hurry. You got to be careful.
I was not at that game, so I didn't get to participate in the romper, and maybe I was satisfied with not participating in that game.
But you have some cool stuff. You guys get some cool uniforms. I mean, that's a plus right there.
Oh yeah. A lot of those uniforms that we wear like that get auctioned off. So sometimes we get an extra set to keep. Sometimes we don't. But yeah, it's cool that they auction stuff off to the fans like that.
Yeah, I know a guy that would love a Bananas jersey. I mean, I know a guy. Look at me being we could, but look at Matt's got the banana stuff hanging in the back. We got some space here. We could hang something, I guess. I'm just floating it out there, Matt. It
sounds to me that you're pretty interested in that romper, so I might see what I can do with that.
I would wear the romper doing either my live broadcast or I can make that guarantee. I'd rock the romper better than a lot of women can rock a romper. I'll tell you that. Hey, who's the ump? Who's the umpire? The little dude that does all that, and he twerks, and who's that guy?
Oh, he's amazing. Our dancing umpire's Vincent. He's from Texarkana, and boy, that dude can shake it.
Is he? But he's a real ump too, right? For real.
You bet he. Yeah, you bet he is. He's been on the Ellen DeGeneres show for doing what he does. That's kind of how I think the Bananas found him through his. Everybody finds everybody from social media nowadays. So he posted some videos, I believe, and of what he does, and yeah, he's unbelievable in entertaining the crowds.
Who I talked earlier about joking about making a cameo. You guys, you have one old former Red Sox pitcher, Hall of Famer, that comes and pitches. Who else? I've seen you guys have had some pretty big name major league guys make appearances, pitching, batting, right? That's quite a get. That's a catch to get it. I'm trying to think. You've had some big hitters, big pitchers come in, right?
Yeah, we've had Barry Zito came in.
That was one I
and
was thinking of.
pitch.
Yeah.
I wasn't fortunate enough to make that game. I always loved watching him growing up. Johnny Damon's been there. There's been Jake Peavy plays with us, which is a Cy Young Award winner. I mean, we've got some pretty big time dudes come in. It's been a pleasure to be able to be around those guys.
Who's the old 72-year-old pitcher can still sling it?
Bill Lee. Bill Lee, he's 76 years old. Yeah, he's amazing as well. He's one of my favorites on the team. I could literally sit down and listen to him talk all day long, and that's all day long. So yeah, awesome being around him too. So
the guy can still throw the ball. Bill can.
For his age, he can do really well. He was never known as a power pitcher by any means, but he was known to be able to control it, and he still has pinpoint accuracy at 76.
Important to me in all this, I love this whole thing. I just love because I love the production world and the entertainment world. So that's what has always intrigued me about this whole tour. But you are one of very few part-time players for the Bananas because you are a fireman in Oklahoma City. Listen, as great as you being an entertainer and baseball player is, pretty great you're a fireman. Full-time fireman, I mean, that's the path you picked, right?
That's right. I coached baseball prior to becoming a fireman. I was a math and PE teacher. I did that for 5 years. I enjoyed it, but I was just ready to move on. I didn't really want to crack the whips anymore. I'm more of a doer, so the fire department really interested me, and being around that camaraderie of the guys, I always wanted to be in that kind of atmosphere. So I jumped into the fire department, and now I get to do this, which is basically live my childhood dream of being a professional ball player.
What is your balance? What determines when you're go to the fire hall and when you're on the road with the Bananas? What are you committed to a certain number of games? How do you work that?
Man, it was a really hard time figuring all that out. That's the deal in our business is balance. That we're on the road so much. How do you balance family? How do you balance all these things? And it's tough. That's one of the conversations I had with John Harrison prior to doing this. I met him at here in Oklahoma City and talked about his barrel a little bit and kind of asked him some questions. And there's no really good answer for that. It's just you got to grind it out and make it work. And sometimes you got to make some choices on what's more important. My family is what's the most important to me, God and family. So I've tried to balance, a number of games where I can still give them the amount of attention that they deserve. And I still got to be a good fireman. So I don't want to take away from the fire department as well. So we me and Coach Gillum, which is a childhood friend of mine who happens to be the head coach, sit down and talked about what that would look like. And it was about half of the games that I would be able to make, and felt like I could balance everything else out. So that's what we've went with. About 46 of the 90 something games I'll make.
Um, we, you've interested me watching you. I said the authenticity is perfect when you're out on the field. Talking to you, I think even more now that I've talked to you. I've watched you and felt like, I told you before we started recording, I told the guys I work with here, there's a guy with the Savannah Bananas, and I'm intrigued by the Bananas, and I want him on my podcast because I felt we had some parallels after talking to you, what you guys do in production as far as the ad-libbing, the Rolodex of material. By the way, I taught school and coached as well out of college. I taught math and history and coached football and track. So that we have a lot of things, the family stuff that I probably didn't handle the right way. There's a lot of things here. Any kind of entertainment business mixed with traveling, whatever field we're in, we can talk about that. There's a lot of similarities.
Yeah. That's crazy. Were you a math teacher as well?
Yeah, I taught math and history and coached football and track. Just 2 years, not 5. You made it more than I did. But Havre, Montana. What was your school? What was your school you were at?
Okay, so I finished up. I graduated from Sulphur, Oklahoma. Brennan Eldred, if you know that name.
I know
He's
Brennan.
from Sulphur.
Yes, sir.
He's from Sulphur, lives in Roth, I believe now. But yeah, he's a lot younger. But I went back home to Sulphur, coached a year there, and then got my first job, real small town. Had 14 or 17 kids in the 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Taught them all one period in math. And you know how you have to do in small towns. I drove the bus. I did health class, PE class, math class, taught junior high baseball, junior high basketball, and high school baseball 2 seasons. And then went on closer to the metro area. Here in Mustang, Oklahoma, and El Reno, Oklahoma, before I became a fireman.
I taught and coached Havre, Montana, home of the Havre Blue Ponies. There you go.
Sweet mascot.
I know. Big white horse, and blue horse on the helmet. I'm telling you. So that's funny. We have a lot of connection there. I think that's interesting. Couple of the guys where I live, I got my pickup this morning and it was coming over here and they asked what I was up to. I said, recording a podcast. And I told them, this friend of mine who plays for the Savannah Bananas, they said, they got to come to Billings, man. I'm in Billings, Montana. And maybe the stadium's not big enough. We have a minor league team here that does very well. The Billings Mustangs, they do well here. It would be cool. I mean, I would imagine everybody you talk to, because I get the same with the PBR. You got to come here. You got to come there. So talk to the scheduling guy. Let's do some Montana stuff, man. Come on.
Hey, I'm all in.
You need to now. I'm done in the arena here. I'm old and rickety, Matt. So come see us at a PBR. I think we're going here coming up this fall. Going to be in Oklahoma City for the PBR team stuff, and I'm just still doing TV commentating. So let me know if you're around, and you got to come watch us again and check it out.
You bet. I'd love to try to make it out as much as possible when they come to Oklahoma City.
Yeah. Well, I know a guy, so he can probably get you tickets. I know a guy that can call somebody to try and get some tickets. So,
it's good. It's good to know people.
Listen, I do appreciate, I know you're busy, and as we do this, you got a couple days off, and I know taking an hour out of your day sometimes with family is tough, but I appreciate it. I watch everything I can of your guys, and from, I know you're friends with John Harrison, but from Cody Webster and me that kind of know who you are, we do appreciate that staying true and the tribute to us. So that means a lot. We appreciate it.
Well, that's you guys mean a lot to me and what you do. I chose the fire department because it's a noble profession, and what you guys do to protect those cowboys and putting yourself in danger, that's an awesome thing and something that I really respect and look up to. So that's another reason why I wanted to to dress up as you guys because I love you guys. So,
well, rodeo clown minion, call it what you want. We know, we know it's a minion. Never again. Now it's it. My minion friend Matt. So Minion Matt.
And I'm just loading you up with ammo.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for taking the time. We'll see you soon. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Flint. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt.